Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May the 14th, and it was a foggy morning this morning, which covered most of the mountains. You couldn't see anything. And it was nice because it was cool, but now the sun has broken out and it's hot. Anyways, we are in Daniel chapter 7. So let's get into it here. Daniel chapter 7, verse 1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and visions of his head upon his bed. Then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. So now we're going back in the time when Belshazzar was king. And currently now, King Cyrus has taken over the kingdom, who is the king of the Medes and Persians. So Daniel's going back in the time sharing his dreams of what he saw, what would take place in the near future and also in the last days. So verse 2, Daniel spoke and said, I saw my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea, and four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. So these are the same four kingdoms of Nebuchadnezzar's dream when he had dreamt that huge statue, and Daniel interpreted it into four kingdoms, different kingdoms. But now God has given Daniel a dream of these four kingdoms in great detail. And the first beast was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and the man's heart was given to it. And so we know that this first beast was the Babylonians. It was which represented Nebuchadnezzar, and the lion symbolizes strength and courage, who is chief among the kingdoms, as the lion is the chief among the beasts. And now Nebuchadnezzar is called the lion in Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 7. And Jeremiah, who is the prophet, spoke of Nebuchadnezzar who would take over the Jews and in captivity. So this lion had wings and were plucked. Nebuchadnezzar was stripped from his power for 7 years and lived like an animal amongst the field. And behold, another beast, a second like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. So this bear symbolizes the viciousness of the Persians, and also their cruelty when they invaded Babylon under King Belshazzar. Verse 6, After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. And so the leopard, which is smaller than the lion, which is swift, cruel, and the opposite of tame, springing suddenly from its hiding place unto its prey, as we read in Hosea chapter 13, verse 7. And I can give you a few other verses that speaks of this kingdom. Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 8, and Isaiah chapter 11, verse 6. And so this kingdom is Macedon, which was ruled by Alexander the Great. Macedon was the northern kingdom of Greece, which attacked Darius at the head of the vast empire, reaching from the Aegean Sea to the Indies. And in 12 years, he subjugated part of Europe and all Asia to the Ganges. Now, where Babylon represented with 2 wings, Macedon had 4 wings, which represents how rapid this kingdom was when it conquered kingdoms. And we know through movies and history that Alexander the Great did conquer quite a bit of kingdoms and was fast, like a leopard. Now the four heads represents Alexander's successors who would eventually split the Macedonian kingdom into four after Alexander's death. Verse 7. After this I saw the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and broke in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. So this is talking about the Roman Empire. I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now the horns represents rulers. This one horn that had eyes of a man and spoke great things is the Antichrist himself. Or it could be the Pope. I mean, the Pope is a blasphemer and speaks many blasphemous things against God. Verse 9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. So this is no other than King Jesus himself. Now he's getting into the visions in the last days here. A fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands of thousands ministered unto him. So these are the believers of God. And 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were open. So this is the vision of the final judgment day. And I beheld, then beast of the voice of the great words, which the horn spoke. I beheld even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed and given to the burning flame. And this is a parallel of Revelation chapter 20, of the beast and the false prophet being thrown into the lake of fire. Verse 12, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. So I believe this is talking about the millennial kingdom. I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Talking about Jesus. And there was given him dominion, glory, and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion, which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. The millennial kingdom, so it's talking about the millennial kingdom in Revelation chapter 20. I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. I came near unto one of them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me known the interpretation of these things. So that could be an angel of God, or it could be one of the saints that was in the book of Revelation. So it's possible that God took Daniel into the future, which you'll see, which will tie in together in the last chapter. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Verse 17. These great beasts, which are four kings, which shall rise out of the earth. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Talking about the last days. Then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, his nails of brass, which devoured, broke in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spoke very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, talking about the Antichrist. I beheld, And the same horn made a war with the saints and prevailed against them. So again, talking about the Antichrist making war against the Christians during the tribulation. And we are also seeing that right now, that the Antichrist system, which is gathering all the nations of the earth under the global government, has been making war against Christianity. And we're seeing that in China, in many countries in the Middle East, and now in North America. We're seeing that everywhere. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Now God is going to give all of his believers, his sons and daughters, the authority to judge all people and kingdoms upon the earth. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down, and break it in pieces. Talking about the revived Roman Empire, which will be the one global, one world global government. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them. And he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time, which is in the tribulation time. We, the sons and daughters of the Most High, will judge the Antichrist and all those who worship him and received his mark. 3 more verses, we're finished. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. I cannot wait till that day, and it's coming soon, folks. This will be the millennial kingdom, where God's saints, sons and daughters, will sit on thrones. I mean, I believe that that's part of the rewards for those who have been faithful to God. He will give them positions of authority in the millennial kingdom. Verse 28, can't even pronounce this word. Hitherto is the end of the matter. I don't have time to look that up, but you can look that up. That's Old English. Is the end of the matter. As for me, Daniel, my visions much troubled me, and my countenance changed in me, but I kept the matter in my heart. So I believe that Daniel wrote portions of the book of Revelation, and you'll see in the last chapter it'll all tie in together. Wow, anyways, what a chapter that was. That was a heavy chapter. Well, God bless you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow for chapter 8. God bless.